You're live.
I'm gonna get a book to stack that on.
Oh, you want mama?
Mama.
You're supposed to be up here.
I know. I'm
Hi,
trying to...
there's our baby. There's
Look,
our baby.
our neighbor gave us this handy dandy stool.
Ooh, it doesn't work. I mean, kidding, it works. Derek, fix it for me.
Fixing it now.
I didn't do the thing.
There you
Ooh,
go.
There we go. Thank you, neighbor.
Nice. Well, you're gonna have to come closer.
Oh, this is messed up.
like so that you can.
That seat is perfect for you.
Shut up.
It's not as comfortable as this rocking chair over here.
We're
but-
ready
Yeah,
in
dude.
5, 4, 3. Hi. You are so beautiful.
There we go. Hey, that's not bad. You can see us. And can you read
Derek,
this?
you need to
Where would I read it
No,
from?
turn straight, straight around over there on that. There we go. The top chat.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There we are.
Top chat.
Nice.
Ooh, this is.
Okay. Shane, why don't you give us a quick
Uh,
overview of what we got done this weekend?
Okay, so it feels like we got a ton done. It doesn't look like we got a ton done. We spent the majority of our day debarking trees that we had already cut down,
Peeling logs.
peeling the logs. But it's so now we've got rafters up. I think we have maybe one
We have 10 rafters
or two, or no, I mean 1 or 2 left
to put up.
to put up. And then we can put the shingling or
Sheathing.
sheathing.
Start the sheathing.
Sheathing. We're gonna shingle the sheathing.
Oh, well, yeah, we are.
Yeah. Sha.
No.
So it took a lot to lead up today. So we spent some last weekend and some this week, more trees. But yeah, that was the majority of today. We debarked some trees and then we hung them up. We've already got the other 2 debarked. We just got to hang them up.
It
And,
was super nice because it started out really decent. It was only a high of 90 today.
yeah, it was, it was
That
under
super
100.
Nice. Yeah.
So
Yeah. 10 degrees.
was-
Last week it was 100. So yeah, it felt a lot better.
it was,
today.
it was like,
Oh,
it
and
was
well,
like
and that's what-
101, 102.
We didn't start early on this either. We
Right.
hiked around the property for 2 hours looking at home sites.
home
That's our next step. After this deck, we need our home sites chosen. So we've got 2 contenders
Hi.
and we've probably been through half the property. Yeah. It's a little thick back there. Yeah. A little hot
Well, we're
and
gonna have to figure out a way to
sticky.
clear it
The
out.
very center to the very back is very dense. And so
Some of it's going to be simple, just cutting down trees, but then what to do with the stumps? That's going to be a little bit more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And look
Yeah,
at-
because there's clay here in the soil, and that clay won't burn, so you can't rip it up and burn it. Right. You kind of got to rip it up and then bury it. Yeah, is what we'll have to do.
Yeah.
But that can be a big job, but we're not there yet.
yeah.
Looking at home
Yeah,
sites.
yeah, we still got to choose home site.
what is it? What did you like? Did you like playing in the little baby pool?
Yeah.
That's what she liked.
I don't know.
Like
If,
seeing that baby in the
oh,
Who's that
she's
pretty
looking at
baby?
herself. That's funny.
Who's that pretty baby?
So I know that was a really quick summation, but it took us hours to do it and only seconds to say it.
Yeah.
It was a little anticlimactic.
What
Right.
is next, do you think?
Oh man.
The
Okay.
sheathing,
Well,
or
yeah.
we need to cut and mill.
Or yeah, how
Well,
much sheathing do you
yeah.
have, babe?
We've got about 15 sheets of sheathing. I think we're probably going to need another 15 more to be safe.
Okay.
So we need to fell a tree and mill the wood.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fell the tree.
I know which I have 3
Mill
trees
the
I'd like
tree.
felled.
Yeah.
Point them out.
You can play.
I don't know if they're trees that we can personally fell, but
Yeah.
I know which ones I would like.
That one over there, I presume. Oh, hi.
Mhm.
Hi.
What is it?
Yeah.
Ones blocking the internet from working.
Yeah, the ones that are blocking the internet.
Yeah. We
Does
definitely don't like the idea of cutting down trees just so that we can get better internet. But
Actually, I do. We're gonna cut back everything you see right here.
Mhm.
Next week, you're just gonna see shrubberies.
shrubs, shrubberies.
We're tired of the trees. We're gonna get rid of them.
We're gonna go to shrubberies.
Honestly, if we didn't pay so much for that internet, we really wouldn't
Yeah,
care
so
that.
we chose to stagger the rafters between the front and the back portion of the deck. So definitely comment and tell us what you think we would have done. This is kind of our experiment. That's the difference too, is that we Shasugi band the beams, posts, and brackets and the railing. We did not. We left it raw wood for the rafters.
For the rafters.
So we're wanting to look at that and see how that ages over the next months. What is it? What is it? Because we're kind of looking at the finishes and how it's landing on different woods, how it ages, to decide what we want for our houses.
This is what I refer to as exploratory building.
Explore. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Well, and in lots of construction projects, they'll build a mock-up, which is really cool to see. You know, it's life size in terms of the window that goes in and the wall that goes around it, but then it stops, and it gets real complicated. But the point is all those materials go almost 100% of the time, because this is I would say like a live model mock-up where we're getting to practice something that we want to do for our homes, for any small structures we would build as well. And we're getting to see things that we like and don't like aesthetically, but also we're getting to see how it works structurally. And that's really fun, which is why I was kind of glad that y'all suggested that we didn't burn these. Sugar band. Sugar. So I'm glad that we didn't do it, because I would like to see what it looks like, whether it's a week or 2 weeks or a month. As moist and humid as it is in this area, I don't think it's going to take long to find out.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to the result. So it'll help us make decisions for our home.
And we're keeping an open mind. Something I keep telling myself to keep things in perspective is that thinking of it as an experiment, like, so that if it doesn't go right the first time, that's okay. I've figured out a way not to do it for the future.
Yeah.
And so that's helping me not be so rigid in my thinking.
Yeah.
Plus, using the natural trees, like to use what you said earlier, naturally makes it so you have to be okay with something not matching exactly. But again, like Rachel said, that it helps you get ready for the real thing, to be okay with something not being perfect.
Right. What home site considerations would y'all consider? So we're considering how far in we are from the property, how far from electric poles. We're considering how we want to be situated, like what areas of the house we want, north facing, etc. We have I have a kiddo that's asked for an east facing room because they love to see the sunrise.
None of my kids want to see the
No.
sunrise.
We have to look at the slope of the land, because we have a creek.
Right.
So we're looking at, what's the grade, how much slope is there? Are we?
Yeah, and real technically speaking, the lowest part of our property, which I guess is northeast. So as you head north, it gets lower, but the lowest part of our property is technically in a flood zone, or floodplain. So obviously we don't want to build there.
Right.
But you come just a little ways up from that, and it's in like a 1,000-year plain versus 100-year plain.
Right. Yeah. And it's we have part of the year we have a slough. A slough?
A slough?
Is it a slough or a slough? SLOUGH. We have any friends from Louisiana? You know
Is
what
it-
a slough is. You duck hunt there?
Slough.
Are you
That's
talking
sow.
about pigs? Like a sow?
The Slough of Despond
Oh,
in Pilgrim's Progress.
I don't
Maybe it's
know.
Slough. It's a Slough.
I've heard of pigs.
I don't know. If you know, tell us.
A baby sow.
We have one. We call it the swampy area.
Yes, it's more like a swamp. Yes.
Hopefully one day it'll be a pond. That's what we're
Yeah.
debating. Too.
Yeah.
That might turn into our pond. It's ripe for a pond.
Yep.
But what
Uh,
other site or what else are we considering?
I wouldn't mind throwing a question out to the interwebs if you have any opinions. So part of our property has an electrical easement going through it, and not just the poles, but like the large transmission lines, I believe it's called. So large poles, large stands, whatever you want to call them, and then a solid 15 feet on each side. And then we've got a decent stretch of land on the
other side.
other side of it, which we're considering at least one area over there as a home site. So cob houses naturally resistant to EMF. However, I also don't want to be ridiculous, so I wouldn't mind someone else's opinion on
How close do you live to power
how
line?
close are you willing to live to a power line, or what do you know knowledge? I can do the Googles, but I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Anything else you're considering for a home site?
Yeah, visibility from the road.
Right. Yeah.
Or lack of visibility.
yeah,
from
that's
the
what we're
road.
looking for.
And I want
Privacy.
big tree
Yeah,
that
I'm
I
looking
can
for a
easily see.
monster
from the
tree
house.
that will be in my yard.
I just don't want to see your cash for clunker coming down the road and I have to look at it.
She is paid for,
That's right. She is.
and until she
She's
dies,
looking at you.
she will.
Right, and
live
that's
here.
that's the other thing that we're talking about too is how close do we want to be? How close of
To-
neighbors do we want to be?
Yeah, our
'Cause
own proximity.
Right now we're looking
Yeah.
at pretty opposite ends. Were the two sites that we looked at today, and we're like, I mean, that's 17 acres. That's quite a bit of space between you.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Like, I'm not gonna want to walk in the rain or the freezing cold.
Yeah, when it's cold and rainy. Oh, that's far.
Are you talking to
She's
Are you
talking about-
talking?
yeah,
Oh, you're talking back there. You talking to your friend?
yeah.
Um,
She has opinions.
We have friends here. We're about to go visit with. I lost my train of thought. She was so distracting.
Well, how close we want to be to one
Oh,
another.
right. Because I mean, if you're in a neighborhood, you just have a next door neighbor. You
Right.
don't have a space, and you know how big your lot is. But we have the luxury of deciding how much space
Yeah.
we actually want, and then that will go into as well deciding factors as to whether we're like
Gardening together or gardening separately.
right.
Are we?
We have a
joining
barn in
our
the middle.
chicken coop together, or is it like,
Right.
or do we put the chicken coop in the middle of the property? Like, I mean, ideally, a chicken coop
Well, and a
is
well, and a new
closer
well.
to proximity
Like,
to your
do
house.
we each
Well,
dig our own wells,
I
or
don't want my chickens anywhere near yours.
I know.
Yeah, we have to decide if we're going to build our own or dig our own wells or not. Obviously, in theory, I'd love to be as far off the road as possible.
Yep.
However, that makes at least two obstacles that you have to deal with. One is you have to run lines, so electricity is going to cost money to run the lines there.
on your poles.
Run the poles. Certainly they won't necessarily have to run it from the street. They could run it off one of their other poles, so it may not make a difference. But since we're going to be using our own wells, if we run from the original well, then we got to run the water, so we got to pay for that. But then secondly, whatever road or driveway we need to get in and out is relevant
Right.
because we need to be able.
What's our materials for that?
yeah.
How deep? Like how many trees are we having to knock out of the way or cut down?
Yeah. So it's
And
definitely a lot
whether or
of
not we're
factors.
going to cross the creek to build too, because
yeah.
that would
What is it?
entail building a bridge to be
I'd
able to
like to
cross
have
over.
a Da Vinci Bridge
Yeah,
because it's cool.
That is-
Because it's a coup.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
all right. I think that about sums it up for
next
us.
week. We will be coming to you live from Great Homeschool Convention
in Round Rock.
in
And order around Rock, Texas.
So come and see us there if you'd like at the Teaching Self-Government booth. And we'll be live from there and talk about what we did. We're going to do a little bit different work, some inside work,
You indoors.
Some
Sweet.
heart and head work.
some
Yeah.
heart work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Air conditioned work. Yeah.
Equally important.
Very important. So keep crafting a life that you love, because life is really good, y'all.
All right. See you later. Bye.